लो प्रेमाधान करुणा प्रचुर नीलो प्रेमाधान करुणा प्रचुर हेन प्रभु कोथा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर हेन प्रभु कोथा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर मोरा स्वरूप रूप कार सनाता दासर गुनाथ पावा मोरा भट्ट जुग कबीरा एक काले कोथ गेला गरन टरा पाषाणे कुटीबो माथा अनले पाशी पाषाणे कुटीबो माथा अनले पाशी गौरांग गुणेर निधि कोथ गेले सब संगीर संगे जे कोई बोविला से संग न पाया कांदे नरोत्तम से संग न पाया कांदे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. All glories to the humble devotees. All glories to the humble devotees. All glories to the humble devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. So we are speaking about Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, verse 10. This is a very famous verse. Srila Prabhupada spoke about it many times. And even Guru Maharaj gave a lecture on this verse recently. So I will give you excerpts from that class, what Guru Maharaj said about this verse. Kamasya na indriya prite
Kamasya nrindriya pritir
labho jiveta yavata
labho jiveta yavata
jivasya tattva jigyasa
jivasya tattva jnasa
nartho yasyeha karmabhi
narto yasceha karmabhi.
Go ahead.
Kamasya nindriya pritir
Kamasya naindriya pritir
labho jiveta yavata
labho jiveta yavata
jivasya tattva jnasa
jivasya tattva jigyasa
narto yasceha karmabhi
narto yasyeha karmabhi
Kamasya nindriya pritir
Kamasya naindriya pritir
labho jiveta yavata
labho jiveta yavata
jivasya tattva jignasa
jivasya tattva jigyasa
narto yasceha karma. Oh, sorry, that's got more be right. Narto yasceha karma vihi.
narto yasceha karmabhi.
Kamasya nindriya pritir
Kamasya naindriya pritir
labho jiveta yavata
labho jiveta yavata
jivasya tattva jigyasa
jivasya tattva jigyasa
narto yasceha karmabhi
narto yasyeha karmabhi
Kamasya nindriya pritir
labho jiveta yavata
jivasya tattva jigyasa narto yasceha karmabhi.
Kamasya
Kamasya
of desire.
Of desire.
Na not. Indriya senses. Pritihi
Priti.
satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
Labha gain. Jiveta,
Jiveta.
self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
Yavata,
Yavata.
so much so.
So much so.
Jivasya,
Jivasya.
of the living beings.
Of the living being.
Tattva,
Tattva.
the absolute truth.
Tattva.
Jijnasa,
Jnasa.
inquiries.
Inquiries.
Na,
Na.
not.
Na.
Artha,
Artha.
and.
And.
Yaschita,
Yacha.
whatsoever else.
Whatsoever else.
Karma be,
Karma.
by occupational activities.
Our occupational activities.
Life's desire should never be towards sense gratification. One should desire only healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Please repeat. Life's desire should never be
Life desire should never be
directed towards sense gratification.
directed towards sense gratification.
One should desire only
One should desire only
a healthy life
a healthy life
or self-preservation.
or self-preservation.
Since a human being is
Since a human being is
meant for inquiry about the absolute truth,
meant for inquiry about the absolute truth,
nothing else should be the goal of one's works.
nothing else should be the goal of one's life's work.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards the fulfillment of desires in sense gratification. In such civilization, in all spheres of life, the ultimate end is sense gratification. In politics, social service, altruism, philanthropy, and ultimately in religion or even in salvation, the very same tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. In the political field, the leaders of men fight with one another to fulfill their personal sense gratification. The voters adore the so-called leaders only when they promise sense gratification. As soon as voters are dissatisfied in their own self-satisfaction, they dethrone the leaders. The leader must always disappoint the voters by not satisfying their senses. The same is applicable in all other fields. No one is serious about the problems of life, even those who are on the path of salvation desire to become one with the absolute truth and desire to commit spiritual suicide for sense gratification. But the Bhagavatam says that one should not live for sense gratification. One should satisfy the senses only in so much as required for self-preservation and not for sense gratification. Because the body is made of senses which also require certain amount of satisfaction, there are regulative directions for satisfaction of such senses. But the senses are not meant for unrestricted enjoyment. For example, marriage or combination of men and a woman is necessary for progeny, but it is not meant for sense enjoyment. In the absence of voluntary restraint, there is propaganda for family planning, but foolish men do not know that family planning is automatically executed as soon as there is a search after the absolute truth. Seekers of the absolute truth are never allured by unnecessary engagement in sense gratification. Because serious students seeking the absolute truth are always overwhelmed with the work of researching the truth in every sphere of life. Therefore, the ultimate end must be seeking after absolute truth. And that sort of engagement will make one happy. He will be less engaged in varieties of sense gratification. And what that absolute truth is explained as follows. So he refers to the next verse.
Another cliffhanger.
Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Vaneshwari Vashabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So I'll give a little bit of a summary study where we are in the Bhagavatam and what is going on. The Bhagavatam, this part of the Bhagavatam is taking place in Naimisharanya. Although the original Bhagavatam was by Shukdev Goswami is not spoken in Naimisharanya, it's spoken in Shukta. But Sut Goswami is repeating that Bhagavatam at Naimisharanya with all these Shaunakadi Rishis. And the Shaunakadi Rishis, the 88,000 Rishis gotten together for a 1,000 year fire yagya, they asked Sut Goswami 6 questions. These are the famous 6 questions. Question number 1 is, what is the ultimate good for people in general, everybody? Question number 2 is what is the essence of all scriptures? There's so many scriptures, Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, histories, Ramayana, Mahabharata. What is the essence of all of them? Question number 3 was asked as, what was the purpose? Why Krishna appeared in this material world? So this conversation is taking place 5,000 years ago, just after Krishna has left the planet. Just after Krishna leaving the place, this conversation is taking place. That's registered in the Bhagavatam. So that is question number 3. Question number 4, they asked about information about the Purusha avatars. Asking about the Purusha avatars is how we get into the Sarg. As you know, there are 10 topics of the Bhagavatam. And first topic of the Bhagavatam is Sarga, not Swarga, Sarga. Sarga and Visarga are the first 2 topics. So Purusha avatars, about the question about the Purusha avatars is question number 4. And question number 5 is that the sages wanted to know about the Leela avatars. So, all these questions are answered by Sut Goswami. Sixth question is, where did the religion take shelter after Krishna's disappearance? After Krishna disappeared or performed the Leela of disappearing from this material world, from this Brahmanda, where did the religion take shelter? So the first question was asked in 119, and the second question was asked in 1111. So the first question asked in 119, what is the ultimate good? Can anybody guess the answer? What is the ultimate good for everyone? Eat, sleep, and be merry. What is the ultimate good? Shravanam Kirtanam. Yeah, well, that's for devotees, isn't it? The question is for everyone. Shravanam Kirtanam is pretty close to it. Huh?
To worship the Supreme Lord Krishna.
Worship the Supreme Lord.
Gauge your loving devotional services, Supreme Lord.
Love and devotion service. To develop love of God through bhakti. Somehow or the other, Shravanam Kirtanam is right. To do all the other answers are also right. Same thing, develop love of God. Like we say every morning after the 10th offense, we want to develop Krishna prema. So that is the ultimate good for everyone as answered by Sut Goswami in 1, 2, 6 and 7. What 1, 2, 6 is the Savayapum Samparo Dharmo Yatho Bhakti Radhokshaje verse. So that is his first answer to the first question in that verse. 1, 2, 6 is the first answer to the first question that the sages asked. And in 7, he continues the answer. And then the whole second chapter, he's basically explaining bhakti. Because the second question is, what is the essence of all scriptures? So what is the essence of all the scriptures? Anybody want to take a guess? Huh? Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence to all Vedic scriptures. And what is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam? The essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is bhakti. So the essence of all Vedic scriptures is Bhagavatam, and the essence of Bhagavatam is bhakti. Bhakti or devotional service. So that is the answer he gave in first canto, second chapter. The third question was the purpose of Krishna's appearance, asked in 1:1:12 and 1:2:34. Sut Goswami is giving the answer. Yeah, anybody wants to guess? What is the reason for Krishna's appearance? Not the Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkatam Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami. Those are the three external reasons. This is Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavatam, there are internal reasons, and there is a main reason given here by Sut Goswami in 1:2:34. We are on 1:10, but in 1:2:34 that answer will come, and that answer is to reclaim the souls, the devotees or people who are in mode of goodness. If they are in mode of goodness, Krishna is worried about reclaiming them. It's his purpose. Not that we just remain in mode of goodness and just wait for Krishna. We have to transcend the mode of goodness and go into pure goodness and hanker, not just sit there, hanker for Krishna's mercy, hanker for his attention. But of course, that's our side. And question number 4 about the Purushottaras is explained in 1 to 30 to 33. Just before he gave the answer to third question in 1 to 34, he gave the fourth answer first in 1 to 30 to 33. And the fifth question, Leela Avatars, is explained in the third chapter. The Leela Avatars pastimes will come in the third chapter. And the sixth and the final question is, what was the sixth and the final question? Somebody is listening. Where did the religion take shelter after disappearance of Krishna? So where did he take shelter? Where did the religion take shelter? Bhagavad.
Krishna Sva Dhammapadite Dharma Gyana Dvisa Klodasham Vishamesha Parana Kodimita.
So the religion took shelter of the Bhagavatam is the answer to the sixth question. I have all these notes if somebody wants them. So here we are at the essence of all Vedic scripture being bhakti, devotional service. So devotional service and what to do and what not to do are being explained in these verses that we are on right now, from 6, starting with the Savapunsa Parodharmo Shlok, going up to 29. This one answer, one question, one word answer, bhakti, but Sut Goswami is not leaving it at that. He wants to give a full answer, why bhakti? And what bhakti? Why bhakti and what bhakti? So in this verse, number 10, there is a simple message. Rise yourself from sense gratification unto the inquiries about the absolute truth. Or in Sanskrit, you can say, rise yourself from Indriya Trapti to Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Rise from Indriya Trapti to Athato Brahma Jigyasa. That is the message in this verse. This morning, I found a lecture that Guru Maharaj gave on this particular verse. He doesn't speak on very many verses. Maybe out of the 14,000 verses, he has spoken on 1,000.
Spoken on?
Maybe 1,000. I notice he has favorite verses that he speaks about, and those favorite is a long list. But anyway, those are his favorites.
Savai Pumso being one of them.
Yeah, so this whole section from 6 to 29 is bhakti. Sut Goswami, the first time in the Bhagavatam, Sut Goswami is explaining bhakti because he is justifying his answer that he gave to the Shaunakadi rishis. Why I am saying the essence of all Vedic scripture is bhakti. So first place in the Bhagavatam where bhakti is explained is 126 to 129. So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, the completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards the fulfillment of desires in sense gratification. In such civilization, all spheres of life, the ultimate end is sense gratification. Guru Maharaj gave the pastime of Keshav Kashmiri and Lord Gauranga. The matter is sense gratification. There are so many ways you can gratify your senses. If you are a scholar, you try to gratify your senses by speaking, debating, and defeating other people in the debate. That gives you satisfaction. That is your sense gratification. So Guru Maharaj gave the story of this Keshav Kashmiri. Keshav Kashmiri, of course, came from Kashmir. And Kashmir, as you know or probably know, is named after Maharshi Kashyap, the Kashyapa. Didn't we have Kashyapa Muni here? Here. Kashyapa Muni is
This one in
Calgary.
Calgary?
Calgary, yeah.
This also in Calgary.
Yeah.
What was the name of the devotee who used to do that?
Kapil. That was Kapil Muni. As Kapil Muni was here. Kashyapa Muni is from another temple. So that Kashyap lived in the known as Kashmir today. Big universities were there. And in the Vedic, Kashyapa Muni lived there with his so many wives. Aditi and Diti were the main, and Aditi gave birth to all the demigods, and Diti gave birth to all the demons. So, Kashmir, although not today, but for all the time before the Muslim invasion, was known for education. Sanskrit, grammar, scriptures, everything. Mainly scriptures and how to go back to Godhead, but you know how the decline comes. People go into just scholarly debates instead of really trying to stay at Athato Brahma Jigyasa because of their need or want of sense gratification. They go into scholarly things, scholarly debates. Yes, I am the most scholarly here. I know the most. I can defeat you, and so on. So that was the mood of Keshav Kashmiri. And when he came to Mayapur, before that, he had gone through rest of India. There's a whole big distance, about 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers between Kashmir, where Keshav Kashmiri came from, and Mayapur. So on the way, he met so many other scholars and defeated them all. He was a worshipper of Saraswati, Devi Saraswati, and was specially blessed by Devi Saraswati. When he spoke, she sat on his tongue and made him speak. So the scholars in Mayapur was also known in its own way for education, scholarly people, and so on. So the big scholars, they were afraid of Keshava Kashmiri. That, oh, Keshava Kashmiri is here, he's come to our home, he's going to defeat us here in front of everybody, in front of our home crowd, and go and leave us insulted. So because of that reason, they said, no, we're not going to debate with Keshava Kashmiri. But somebody has to do it. Let's get this 16-year-old Gauranga, Nimai Pandit, already was known as a Pandit. Let's get this 16-year-old boy to debate with him. And if he defeats Nimai, because these people don't know Nimai is Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're just looking at Nimai. They're scholars, they're also looking at Nimai as a scholar, and Nimai was also performing that pastime of being a scholar at that time. Wasn't really spreading the Yuga Dharma, was just spending time being a scholar. So they said, okay, we will have Nimai Pandit debate with Keshava Kashmiri. And if Nimai Pandit defeats him, then we don't have to have a debate with him because Nimai Pandit defeated him already. And if he defeats Nimai Pandit, no issue. He only defeated a 16-year-old boy. What's the So, of course, we're going to send him as our representatives. He will be our representative. So, if my representative is defeated, we are defeated, but we will not really be defeated because he only defeated 16-year-old. It's like a Canadian team going to a hockey match and they get defeated. Who was defeated? All of Canada. We didn't get defeated, but our team did. So that's it. We're defeated.
In Canada, it's practically the same thing.
Same thing.
Team and the country,
Yeah.
practically the same thing.
No, everywhere. Nobody will tell you that, no, our team got defeated, not our country. No, country is defeated with the team. So, in that sense, Keshav Kashmiri cannot demand that, no, debate with the big scholars, because big scholars sent a representative, you defeated them, so they accept defeat. It's done. But before, they could have a formal debate. Keshava Kashmiri ran into Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And somebody told Keshava Kashmiri that this is the boy, Nimai Pandit, the 16-year-old, who you're going to be having debate with tomorrow. He was so puffed up. Keshava Kashmiri was so puffed up, he couldn't wait. He said, no, I want to have a prelims with him. Now have a semi-final today and have a final tomorrow. I said, he challenged Nimai Pandit. Okay, you say something. Speak something. Give your poetry. And Nimai Pandit, taking the humble position, said, no, I'm not really capable. You please. You are a big Pandit. You please say what you want to say. So he gave 100 verses to glorify Mother Ganga, because they were at the bank of Ganga. And he said, okay, now Nimai Pandit, you want to find a fault with this? Go ahead. He was so puffed up, he was so proud, because it was Devi Saraswati speaking through his mouth. And Devi Saraswati doesn't make mistakes. And he is taking it as himself. But here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeated the whole 100 verses and told him, I am Shotidhar. Keshav Kashmiri had spoken so fast that he was not so confident that Nimai Pandit heard it all, because I was speaking so fast. Because I'm speaking on the power of Devi Saraswati. So, how can a regular human being stand in front of that? And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeated the 100 verses, already he was moved completely. Oh, you picked up everything? Yes. I also picked up some very good qualities out of your 100 verses. And I also picked up some other things. So after getting defeated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Keshav Kashmiri was very upset and thinking of Devi Saraswati, that how this little boy, who he thought was human, able to defeat Devi Saraswati. The Devi Saraswati came to his dream and chastised him. You, Keshava Kashmiri, you are so full of false ego. You're so puffed up. You are trying to debate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This, what is going through my mind is how I heard Guru Maharaj tell this story this morning, although he was saying it in Hindi and I'm trying to translate it for you in English, but of course you know and understand the essence. I'm just trying to repeat after Guru Maharaj. And Devi Saraswati chastised. And Guru Maharaj also mentioned that there were some other students with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Keshava Kashmiri was defeated, they all laughed at Keshava Kashmiri. And Nimai Pandit told them, no, not to laugh. This is not age and everything. We should be respectful. Offer all respect. So that's the pastime that Guru Maharaj gave. And further, in politics, social service, philanthropy, ultimately in religion or even in salvation, the very same tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. In the political field, the leaders of men fight with one another to fulfill the personal sense gratification. The voters adore the so-called leaders when they promise them sense gratifications. Guru Maharaj gave an example. Recent India political scene, one political party was trying to allure the women, all the women voters, by giving them 1,000 rupees a month, promising that we'll give you 1,000 rupees a month. We'll give all the women. Previously, everybody was on the case of the young voter. So the young voter means 18 years old. 18 years old means just graduating from high school. So they would have, they started with gifts for the...
Can they actually do that? Like, that's bribery.
It is. But they call it a gift. That the state is giving all these children who are graduating from school a gift. Those who pass.
They're not calling it debt relief or anything like that. It's just literally a gift.
Yeah, they just call it a gift. So I don't know what they started with, but I came across a bike in Mayapur. It was, I knew that the bike is around 10,000 rupees, worth, and somebody offered it to me for 1,000. And I go, why so cheap?
Stolen?
Huh?
Not stolen.
No. Why so cheap? I said, no, this is one of those bikes that was given to all the students by the government. So this bike is not worth that much. Why? Because so much supply in the market and not enough demand. So everybody's got one. And not everybody wants it. So there's all of a sudden so many in the market for sale. So they're selling for,
10%.
for a dime.
Wow.
I still have the bike in Mayapur. I keep it there, and they oil it and grease it and fix it up for me. I go.
Pedal bike or?
It's a pedal bike. Yeah.
Pedal bike.
Just a manual, completely manual. No motor, no fuel, nothing. Just completely clean energy or sweat energy.
Great.
Yeah. And it's previously it was allowed to go in, but now it's only allowed to go where the motorcycles are allowed. So after that, somebody to top that off offered HP laptops.
Oh,
Everybody who's graduating gets an HP laptop.
It's not?
a laptop.
HP laptop.
HP.
So all of a sudden,
The value of those is
they're going for dime a dozen.
Buy a cheap laptop.
So then gradually they gave up on the students and got on the case of the women.
Well, there's more women. Half the population. is
Half the
women.
population is women. In India, more than half.
A little, really? More than a little less than half.
Yeah, because there's so many girls getting killed in the womb. So, actually, more than half of the population. The men will balance out if there is a war.
Yes.
So many men will go and die, but there isn't no war. God forbid not. But because not having so many wars, there's the men are all there, but women are more. In one province, the ratio is as bad as 1,000 boys to 850 girls.
China's worse
China's worse.
China's worse.
because of the one-child policy.
One child policy. In India, at
killed
least
all
they
women
had
'cause
two
they
child.
only wanted sons.
Yeah. And in China, it was at that time when they placed the one child policy, they didn't make it illegal to kill the girls.
Right,
No, there were
It
abortions.
was fine. It was fine,
Yeah.
At least in India, it's sort of illegal, but also the girl babies don't get medical care when they're sick. After the birth, it's like, okay, well, it's just a girl.
So,
So where does that leave the men? I mean, really, a little bit short-sighted, eh?
yeah. Who cares about the man's vote as long as we get the women? Or women are cheap target.
Are?
Cheap target. You can buy them for much smaller amount of money because they're not getting anything.
Yeah, they're like,
So even if
they
you
have
give
nothing, so you give them any little something, it's more
any
than-
little something,
Yeah.
they're happy. So if you give them even 100 rupees, it's much better than a zero that they've been getting and zero attention that they have been getting from the government. So somebody came up with 500 rupees, and recently, just a few months ago, that money was raised by one politician to 1,000, and Guru Maharaj gave the class at that time, and he heard that somebody is offering the women 1,000 rupees. So he used that for an example. The same is applicable in other fields. No one is serious about problems of life. Even those who are on the path of salvation desire to become one with the absolute truth and desire to commit spiritual suicide for sense gratification. So at this juncture, Guru Maharaj gave the story of Shobri Muni. Shobri Muni was actually in Vrindavan, and he was performing tapasya under water in the Yamuna. And he had, by mistake, some desire, and he comes out and he goes to Mathura and he asks the king, would you give me one of your daughters in marriage? And the king said, king looked at him and said, I can't say no to him, but I can't say yes to him. He said, well, look, I am a king. My daughters have a mind of their own. They have a right to choose their own husband. So I will present you. I have altogether 50 daughters. God knows from how many queens, but I have altogether 50 daughters. If you want, I will present you to all 50 of them and see if somebody will choose you, because I give them the right to choose their own husband. And of course, everybody rejected Shobri Muni. And Shobri Muni found out very quickly that they're rejecting my body, because my body looks old, dilapidated, my hair is growing, my beard and everything. I am just looking like a mess. They're not seeing me, they're seeing my body. So he fixed up his body and he said, okay, king, let me ask your daughters again. And all 50 of them want to marry him now. So Guru Maharaj gave this story. Towards the end of the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, but the Bhagavatam says that one should not live for sense gratification, one should satisfy the senses only in so much as required for self-preservation and not for sense gratification. So instead of self-gratification, we should look for self-preservation. Like we want to satisfy our tongue by having tasty food or bhoga, make that bhoga an offering to the Supreme Lord and enjoy it as prasadam. Hare Krishna devotees are good at satisfying their senses by having prasadam rather than having.
Beautiful music, nice dancing.
You want to hear music? Hear music. You want to dance? Dance. You want to speak? Come. Speak about Krishna. You want to sing? Sing his name. So many ways.
Flowers,
Yeah.
lovely smells, everything's here.
Everything. So satisfy your senses in the right way. In every sphere of life, therefore, the ultimate end must be seeking the absolute truth, and that sort of engagement will make one happy because he will be less engaged in the varieties of sense gratification and what that absolute truth is explained. So you will be less interested in sense gratification, more interested in absolute truth. That is the process of devotional service, that we move on from sense gratification to Athato Brahma Jigyasa. That is the message of this verse that was explained in the purport by Srila Prabhupada very beautifully, and remembering my spiritual master finding his last class he gave on this verse, I narrated some examples that he used. If there's any questions or comments, I can take.
I have a quick question, and I have to leave for a class almost, not a class, a meeting almost immediately, so I'm going to jump ahead and ask my question. You mentioned the name of the location on the bank of the Ganges where Parikshit and Sukadev Goswami were, and what was the name of the...
Shuktal.
And is that...
It's named after Shukdev Goswami.
Oh, right. Okay, so that is the same place
Yeah.
as this one, right?
Actually, that's where I was born.
Oh, you were saying that more quickly than I was thinking.
I was born in that district.
You were born in that district.
Shuktal.
That's it?
This is it.
That's it.
What
And,
is it called? Shugda?
Shuktal.
and isn't that pretty close to that town where Maharaj was in the hospital?
Same area. Same area. Further up is Dehradun. Yeah. So between Dehradun and Delhi, Shuktal is in between.
Oh,
Yeah. It, what do you call the capital? The capital where Dhritarashtra was ruling, Hastinapur.
oh, Hastinapur, Delhi.
Yeah. No, Hastinapur is not Delhi. Indraprastha is Delhi.
Indraprastha is Delhi.
Yeah.
Hastinapur is itself.
Hastinapur is itself. And next to Hastinapur, one end of the Hastinapur is the Shuktal.
Oh, okay. Aha. So it was convenient. It was the backyard for Maharaj Parikshit.
Yes. So if you leave Hastinapur and go towards Ganga, you would get to the bank of Ganga, and it had no name at that time.
Right.
But because Shukdev Goswami came there and spoke the Bhagavatam, the name of the place became Shuktal.
And it became famous. And
Oh.
a place of pilgrimage.
It is, even today, it's a place of pilgrimage. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati built a Gaudiya Math there. We don't have an ISKCON temple in the area, but we do have Gaudiya Math. Srila Bhakti ordered to build it.
From there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Thank you so much for your class. I'm sorry I
Thank
have to dash right now.
Very nice class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody on Zoom, do we have an option to get questions or comments from Zoom? Is there anybody there? If they speak, can we hear?
Oh my gosh. I'm zooming. I accidentally turned it off right near the end. From
Oh.
here, so.
Oh, okay. So we're done.
But they should still be able to ask questions.
They should? How?
One thing about Kashmir, many scholars
Yeah.
claim that Kashmir, Jesus went to Kashmir,
Oh, yeah.
and there's a lot of names in the Bible that they're taking to be, the promised land, the land of, and they take to be Jerusalem, when in actuality it's Kashmir. And a lot of the names of Kashmir are very similar to the names in the Bible.
Uh-huh.
And others say that the tomb of Jesus
I don't know those.
is actually in Kashmir.
Oh,
But the different scholars, based on evidence from names and historical facts, and we know
Yeah.
that he did travel through Kashmir, he did travel to India.
yeah.
So,
I heard that, but I don't know of the names that are similar. So that
there's
would be a good
one
information.
One book I read many years ago, and it gives the names in Kashmir, which are very similar to names in the Bible.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. I had another question, but I forget what it was.